My name is Dr. Paul Atkin. I am an entrepreneur and also a musicologist, and I want to recreate something extraordinary in Venice and in opera. Something which in fact no longer exists in Venice, Italy, or indeed anywhere in the world. I want to restore authentically staged Baroque opera to Venice, and above all I want to do it by reconstructing the original Teatro San Cassiano, the world's first public opera house. In 1637, the Teatro San Cassiano was the first theatre to open its doors to the public, and as such, the first to start the incredible opera boom which spread through Venice, Italy, and then the world. It is the theatre which started the journey to opera as we know it today. I then want the restored theatre to go on to become a world-renowned centre for the research, exploration, and staging of historically informed performances of Baroque opera, literally studying Baroque opera for its performance on stage and in the orchestra pit. Why? Because no such theatre exists anymore, and that matters especially for Venice as the birthplace of public opera. The tragedy today is that in all of Italy there is no active Baroque public opera house able to stage Baroque opera authentically using period stage machinery and scene sets. One by one they have either ceased to exist, or those which have survived have simply been modernised, enlarged, or adapted to suit other needs. For the record, there is also no single theatre dedicated to the research, development and performance of authentic Baroque opera anywhere in Italy or indeed Europe. Since our research began, it has become increasingly clear that this project goes beyond the absolute necessity of restoring the world's first public opera house. It is more fundamental than that. It is about addressing a musical, artistic and performance need in Venice, and indeed Italy, for precisely the type of small, intimate Baroque opera theatre that actually shaped the sound and development of opera, and Venetian opera especially, in the 17th and 18th centuries. This type of restricted opera form was unique to Venice. It is too precious to be consigned to history. Opera has always been about spectacle. From 1637 onwards, the first Venetian theatres not only offered the greatest music performed by the best singers, musicians and dancers of the day, they also used the latest technology available of stage machinery, scene sets and special effects of the time to set the operas in a magical world of descending Dei ex machina, rolling seas, thunderstorms, twinkling stars and scene sets which changed in the blink of an eye. It was like nothing ever seen or heard before. In the present day, many of us will have seen and heard authentic versions of operas by several composers including the greats like Monteverdi, Cavalli and even non-Venetian based composers like Mozart. But just imagine seeing and hearing them in their original context. That's exciting enough, but now add in the opera, meticulously researched, prepared and performed as intended for a small, intimate Venetian theatre, and we have a production that cannot be experienced today. The intimacy, the intensity, the sheer magic is incomparable to anything we know. It is history in a living context, and opera rediscovered in a setting which has been lost to us. Land is precious and space is tight in Venice, so most theatre sites have long since disappeared. Yet quite remarkably, our research has identified the potential to rebuild on or near the original location of some of these first theatres. The restored theatre will seek to be as faithful to the original as modern scholarship and traditional craftsmanship will allow. After the reconstruction of La Fenice, Venice has proven that it has the ability to deliver on every aspect of the restoration. The focus before, during and after reconstruction will be on 5 fundamental principles: theatre design, theatre acoustics, period stage machinery, scene sets and special effects, recreating the perfect context for the performance of authentic Baroque opera, and, as the theatre's focal point, recreating the uniquely Baroque reality of engagement and interaction between the singers, the musicians, the theatre and the audience. Only when all 5 factors become one can we really begin to recreate authentic Baroque opera in its true spirit. And that's what we want to do. We want to recreate the perfect environment and soundscape in which performers and the public can come together to share and to enjoy authentically staged productions of Baroque opera. Throughout, the integrity and authenticity of the intellectual project will remain paramount. The theatre will not be a museum lamenting the death of Venice, but a public voice with which the city can engage with the world. It will be iconic historically, architecturally, artistically, culturally and musically. As such, it will attract the greatest artists, singers and musicians, and an audience who will travel far and wide to experience Baroque opera in its original home. An audience which is eager to engage with Venice and to contribute to its culture and its economy. The artistic and commercial opportunities that a restored Baroque opera theatre in Venice would have are enormous. Its iconic status and historic location in the very heart of the birthplace of public opera would guarantee a blue-chip status in all artistic, commercial and marketing activities. The monopoly it would hold as the only theatre of its kind, together with its access to a footfall of some 30 million tourists per year, makes to my mind a perfect alignment for the conditions necessary to deliver both artistic and commercial success. This project offers something to all Venetians, and to those who care deeply about Baroque opera and Italian culture. Those who value the city's illustrious history will welcome the restoration of the world's first public opera house on or near its original location, com'era dov'era. Those that long for Venice to be relevant in the 21st century will recognise that the theatre and its long-term plans will place the city at the centre of something which is tangible today, which can expand its current music industry, and which reaches out to a wider global market. Better still, it offers a sympathetic contribution to aiding the preservation of Venice itself. To this end, this project offers a vision of a different tomorrow for Venice. It represents a move away from the infamous day trippers and a move towards people who are passionate in the love of Italian opera, culture and history. These are people who will want to spend more time in the city and who will consequently invest in the surrounding infrastructure for the benefit of everyday Venetians. The core belief of this project is simply that Venice owes it to itself to take up its rightful position as the home of Italian and Venetian Baroque opera of the very highest cutting-edge quality, and to relinquish those shabby facades that appear on its streets, essentially selling short its past. Venice deserves better. Together we can make this happen. Thank you.